Discord is not and has never been a profitable company. Much in the same way that Uber and Lyft operated at a loss right when they started and then went on to jack up their prices after all of the competition was eliminated, I think Discord will do the same thing. Because it is simply unsustainable for them to continue offering high quality free features in the form of high quality voice calls, in the form of streaming your screen on the platform, or in general using high resolution video from webcams on the platform, having 8 megabyte images. These things are all unsustainable. I mean, the sheer amount of files that are stored on Discord is in and of itself unsustainable. There is no way to continue bringing in new users and having only a small percentage of them buy Nitro because they wanted to increase their file size or have higher quality video sharing or something. At the current moment, these features are simply not enticing enough. Yes, I know that you can boost servers and that will give you more clout in a given community. There are little things like this that do incentivize you to buy it. A lot of people like being able to send their emojis across multiple servers or whatever, that's fine. But at this particular moment, Discord is still operating at a loss. And the only way to ameliorate that is to do some free-to-play game type shit. You know, I've never bought anything in a video game. I've never bought DLC. I've never paid for features. I've definitely never paid for items. That shit is absolutely a scam. But recently I was tricked by a free-to-play game in a way that actually broke through what I thought was invincible armor of mine. It broke through the armor. I played Destiny 2, and I really liked the movement in the game. I really liked the first mission. I thought it was beautiful looking. I thought the combat was great, and in general, the concept seemed really enticing to me. I had never played a Destiny game before, but I got caught hook, line, and sinker by those first couple moments of the game. So when they told me that I had to buy the campaign to play the game properly, I was like, okay, I'm gonna do this. For the first time ever in my life, I will be tricked by this scheme, which is to offer the first portion of the game, a very small portion, and then charge you later on for the actual game, which is the rest of the game. I had never been tricked by that, ever, and even when I was misled initially by a game after having downloaded it, I always uninstalled it afterwards, just out of principle. On principle, I would uninstall the game and refuse to pay for the rest because I did not want to give in to what I viewed as unhealthy marketing decisions by these companies as being morally wrong practices in the industry. But I've capitulated. I bought the rest of the game and I've been playing it. So this has worked even on me, even on someone who will wait for the Game of the Year edition, who won't pay for services in games, sure as hell won't pay for items in games. Once again, that is just, like, if you want an IQ test for a person, look and see if they buy in-game items. For sure that person is sub 100, sub 90 IQ. But I digress. So Discord is going to do the thing that Destiny 2 does. I think they're going to bottleneck the service by making your voice sound more lo-fi in voice calls if you don't pay for the service, thereby reducing the amount of latency on their end and in general the amount of data that they have to send. I think they're going to reduce the quality of your webcam, of your screen sharing. I think they're going to reduce the size of your uploads, because once the install base is as large as it can possibly be for Discord, they're going to pull the rug out from under us. They're going to pull the rug out from under us because they know that they can. And that is the same thing that Uber and Lyft did. They took out the competition by operating at a loss, and then they started charging more for the same basic service later on. Discord will do the same thing because there will come a point when they can afford to, and then suddenly their company will be profitable. It might actually not be profitable even after they do that and more people are paying for the service, but it will be more liquid than it used to be, which is something that they desperately need because hosting a service like this is not cheap. It's extremely expensive. But when this inevitably happens, I will be happy because Discord is a platform that can see everything that you're doing at all times on your computer unless you're using a client which neuters the spying functionality of the platform, something like Armcord, or hell, even just using Discord in your browser with privacy managing extensions and good settings to make sure you're disabling telemetry, location, and all that good shit. There are various things you can do to neuter some of the worse aspects of Discord, but that's only insofar as it will limit the extent to which it can pry its eyes into your computer. They can still scan all of your messages and send them directly to the authorities at any moment, regardless of whether or not you've done anything wrong, simply because they have access to all of your stuff on a central server at all times. Are we really going to trust random company number 1847 with all of the most intimate details of our lives, nudes, our location, messages with friends, all of the things that we did that day? All of this information is on a central server that is accessible at any time by these companies. And profit incentive alone is not enough to keep them from looking at it at any point. People will still use their platform even if there is a whole lot of credible evidence that they're looking into all of your shit. Nobody jumped onto Signal and these other open source encrypted applications for messaging when it was found out that Facebook was selling user data. People continued to use Facebook Messenger and so on. So I don't think people care all that much about their privacy. I don't think people care all that much about their freedom as users of these various platforms. So it could come out that Discord was doing crazy shit with your data, that they were giving it away to cartels or something. Nobody would blink an eye. They would continue using the service because all of their friends are on the service. They would not stage a mass boycott. And so if you're sending any information on the platform, you may as well kiss that information goodbye because they have it and they're going to have it in perpetuity. They are going to have it for eternity, and they will, no doubt, sell it or use it against you in some way. So that's something important to keep in mind. But there is something we can do about this. There exist free and open source applications that are encrypted, or at the very least peer-to-peer. Things like, as I mentioned before, Signal, Matrix is another one. These things exist. GNU Yami, that's another one. And they can take back the control that many of us have desired when using Discord. And when these features do inevitably become paywalled or bottlenecked in some way, these applications will be there and they will be usable and more free than Discord ever was. That's going to be the way. And if people refuse to follow you onto those applications, I believe it's fair to say that those people aren't real friends, because every person that I've ever asked to go join me on another platform has been willing to do so. Even my friends who aren't tech savvy, even my friends who are definitely normies, no offense to them, that's not a bad word, but they're just much more socially inclined than I. They're much more enveloped in the broader popular monoculture. When I've had a heart-to-heart with them and I've said, yo, hey dude, can you like be on this weird obscure platform to talk to me because I don't want my messages to be unencrypted. They've been willing to say, yeah, like that's a little weird, but sure. And then we just have normal conversations on there. Like, it's not that hard to do. If someone really likes you and cares about you, like actually, they're willing to make a small change in their internet using habits for you. They just are. So in a way, it's almost like a filter. You can tell who's the real friend and who's not based on how much they want to talk to you. If they're willing to make a minor change or tune up to their internet usage habits to talk to you, to go to where you are, then they're a real friend. If they're not willing to do that, what is that really saying to you? It's saying that they're not committed enough to the friendship to make a minor change in their internet usage habits. There you go.